everybody, how are you all? It's Angela, welcome back. Taking major strain here today. We've got a really hot weather passing through, and I'm not good with the hot weather. So if you're in the UK, you have my condolences with that. I hope you're able to keep cool, and if you're anywhere else in the world, I hope that you are able to keep cool. I know that some of my subscribers do experience this really hot weather, if not worse, but we're just not geared for it here anymore. So I hear you there. And of course, if you're in the southern hemisphere and you're having winter, I hope you're nice and warm while we're boiling here. I'd rather be keeping warm than trying to keep cool. I'm not good with that. Right, so I have been playing around with some things today, and I've got a little bit of exciting news. I've been messing around with some of my really old antique lace and doilies, and they really are antique. I got them from a lady a long time ago, and I couldn't bring myself to cut any of them up, as we can't. I mean, they are really so pretty. So I thought, well, I want to play around with them. Why don't I just scan some in and see what I come up with? And I'm actually very happy with the little play around that I've been having today. So let me just show you what they look like. And I'm going to put these in my shop because I really enjoyed what I was able to make with these. So I'm going to turn it like this so you can see it properly. So I've just printed these on normal paper. It is slightly thicker, so it is about 150 gram, and in US that is 35-pound paper. So I've got this beautiful vintage placemat, and I don't know if you can see, but you can see the intricate lace work. Every one of these little loops is a collection of probably 30 stitches, and it is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. So this is this ivory one here. Then I've got this lace, which is a piece of a beautiful lace, you know, like we used to throw lace over. I think maybe you'll remember from your nan or your mum, probably your nan, the netting over food when we wanted to make sure the flies were going to stay off. It's that, and it's really a beautiful piece. So I've scanned those two in, and I did a stupid thing. I did it back to back. So what am I like? We've got this pink doily, and I think that was actually gifted to me, but I can't bring myself to cut it up, so this is what I did. This is a doily that I've dyed myself with avocado dye, and I love that one, especially the little scallops. So I've got those. Here's another antique placemat, and it's really beautiful, and I fancy fussy cutting that out and perhaps using that as a page. You can make these bigger or smaller depending what you want to use them for, so I quite like that as well. Is there something here? Yes, I have a bigger version of this, which I'll show you what I'm going to do with that in another video. I've got an idea, that's why I had a triangle. So there's that one, and then I've got this vintage piece of lace, and it's really pretty. This is just a vintage lace doily as well, so I'll just put that in because I love the pastels in those. Nothing on the back. And then this is the last page there, which has got this beautiful, and this is antique laces again, but the most beautiful bits that you can either fussy cut and use, or you can use this in any of your designs, or cut this out to fit a page. Really endless. So, you know, stunning. You could cut this out and put this on tea stain paper. It would look really nice. All right, so those are just some of the things that I have been busy with this week, in the last few days, and I'm going to show you using this kit here. Let me just show you quickly what I'm going to use today. And of course, you don't have to go and buy this kit. You probably have doilies of your own. So I'm going to use both of these, and I'm going to use this bit today. All right, so that's what I've got, and I'm going to show you what I made with that. So that I will put a link in the description box for you to buy that in my shop anyway. Right, so this is what I've actually made with those bits today. And I've also used my Porch prints, Grandma's Attic. I used a sheet of paper there and some of the ephemera in the Grandma's Attic kit with the postcards and everything. But I've also used an envelope from TaylorMade Journals. So let's just have a look quickly at what I've done. So I've made quite a few layers here, which is what I was going for, and that's why I wanted the doilies. But of course, if you use real doilies, it makes it really thick. So that's why I went with the paper version, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. So we've got this pink doily in the front here, and we've got a little tuck spot behind there. Use one of the pieces that I've just backed onto tea stain paper. This is from Grandma's Attic. So that goes into the first tuck spot over there. And then behind the next one, we've got another tuck spot, and I've put quite a few things in here. The first is an envelope from TaylorMade Journals. I've just put a bit of washi on there. And I love these because she gives you a whole lot in this kit, and this is a kit I've had for a while and I've done nothing with until today. It gives you the back of the envelope and the front, and they come together and you print them out, and then I've just sewn them together. And then what I've done is I've just put in a letter, which I think this came from Amity Bloom actually. So I've just printed out a bit of a letter, folded it in half and put that in there. So that's what I've done in there. And then these postcards I've backed onto tea stain paper, and both of those come from my Porch prints as well. So I just really liked how this had all sort of worked together. This is the other bit of the doily that I was talking about. I've backed that onto tea stain paper, fussy cut around that, put on some of that really antique lace, and it is antique, put on a mother of pearl button. I've sewn that on, and I've just cut the tea stain paper just ever so a little bit wider than the edge, so it gives it like a 3D effect. So I quite like that, and you can journal on the back of that, and that then goes into the tuck spot behind. So you've got a double tuck spot effectively here. Now the page that I've used is from Grandma's Attic. As you can see, it's that beautiful pink one, and I've loved that. We've got a lot of pink going on today here. So we've got that card from my Porch prints in between the front. Then I'm putting this lacy bit at the top of that there. And then I had, let's just get it all together then. That one there, that one on top of that, and that one, I think it was something like that, and then I just tucked that all in over here like that. All right, so that's what we're going to make today. I've got a little bit of a fabric ruffle there with a bulb pin and some seed beads, a little piece of vintage lace again, and I've put that onto a tea stained sheet of paper like that. So I've just folded that in half. Sorry, now I've just messed it all up. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. So I hope you're going to join me and do that. So a really quick project, I'll be glad to tell you, or you'll be glad to hear. So I'll just put that aside. So the first thing we're going to do is take a piece of paper. This is one of my tea stained pieces of paper. I folded it in half like it would be a journal page in my journal, and I've just taken that My Porch print page and I've sized it on my paper so that it fits something like that. So I've just torn the edges, stitched around. You don't have to do the stitching, I've just done it, and inked, and I am going to just stick that right down on my page. Oh, so we've got this glue now. I've left a whole pile of stuff downstairs, and I'm not going downstairs again. So we're going to be stuck with a Fabri-Tac. Right. So get that right to the edges, and then we can stick that all down. Right, so let's stick it as high up on this side as we can. Just like that. There we go. And let's just make sure we keep the lid on there. I just want to grab my bone folder just so that I can make sure I get that nice and smooth. All right, isn't that such a pretty page? Right, now what I want to do next is I want to stick this doily down. So I've cut the doily out. I've printed these out on the thicker paper, as I said. So you're looking at around 30 gram or about 120 to 150 grams, whatever you have. And I'm going to stick that right on the edge of the page. Just make sure that I centralize it properly. I'm not worrying with the the distressing on the edge here, because we will be covering that, but I have distressed the edges there. So all I'm going to do is put some glue on, and what I did with the other one, I actually put glue, let's turn it this way, up a little bit. So we're looking about 1.5 inches up the side, just to make sure that our papers stay put. And then just like that. So there we go. And then we want to just make sure that we get that as close to the edge as we can, and centralize it before we press it down. Okay, so that's simple as that, really. Okay, so we've got our first layer down, and now when you print out this doily, it comes out quite wide, almost like half the page. But in this particular instant, I'm measuring 5 centimeters or 2 inches in, and I'm going to trim that down just for the purposes of shingling it a little bit. So just need to get my ruler, and let's take this. I've made my marks there already, and I'm just going to cut that right off. I'll keep that because I might use it for something else. All right, so we have that now, and that is now going to sit very nicely over there. So I'm just making sure I've got it where I want it, and I'm happy with that. So again, take the glue, and this is the side we're going to glue down, but again I'm just going to go a little bit higher than I was. So we want it just a little bit, about 1 inch further in, so the first scallop area really. Okay, put the glue down, and now we want to again just go to the edge of the page here, like that. I'm just looking that I've got it where I want it, right, and I'm happy with that. Okay, you don't want to stick this to the page below, so just be mindful of that, and probably best for me just to open that up. Okay, right, and then what I did was I cut out the other lacy doily, and let's just find that there so I can tell you how much to trim off there, because I didn't look at that. There we go. So you can see this is the bit over there, and we are looking at cutting off a good probably 1/2 inch widthwise, and a good 1.5 inches in length, but obviously that depends on yourself. But you don't want it to be too wide, and that's why I trimmed it. So when I put it in, it's going to sit in the right place there. So you've got plenty room, but just decide. I did trim that one. Now I did back it onto tea stained paper. I did put on that little piece on one of those other doilies. This is the actual doily, but you could cut out where's that one now? This one here, and use that piece if you wanted to, but you can use any piece of lace. You don't need to go and cut that. You do want some form of texture. So I'm going to slide that one in just over there like that. And then what we're going to do is we want to just cut out our three of the 5 pieces from that one particular page. I've cut out, sewn around. They're backed onto tea stained paper like that. So and I printed these out, as I said, but I think I did 35-pound paperweight here, or 160 gram. So it was nice and firm, and then I've done it onto tea stained paper of the same weight. I've got different weights for different things. So these are the 3 cards we're going to use. And then this is from Tailor's Made, as I said, and it was just a case of cutting out the 2 sides. I've printed 2 to a page, so they're half the size they normally would be. Stuck them together like that, put in your little letter, and then it's just a case of deciding how we want them. So that one goes in the front, and then these 2 just slide either side. So I wanted the bit of the green of the stamp to stick out there, and I wanted the bit of red to stick out like that. So I sort of put them together like that, if you can see, and I like the writing. So I've got that like that. I'm going to lift up this base here, and we're going to just fit those in nicely, and then you can just arrange them how you want them, so however that might be. Okay, that one a little bit further up, that one like that. There we go. Okay, so that's looking great. I'm happy with that. This can go a bit further down, I think. There we go. And then all I did was I took the last card, and that's going to go in between these 2 in the other tuck spot. And obviously you can put whatever you want in here, but this, I thought, picked up a bit of the roses and really sort of looked really cute. So how quick was that? Now all we've got to do now is put on our little lace bit and our little embellishment. So I'm going to just move it to the side, and I've got this lace here, and I wanted to measure the lace to fit on that edge to this edge here. I thought that was sufficient, but you can make it the whole page if you want. Let's do it the whole page. So what I did was, it's just a case of use a good glue for this that you're able to smooth, and don't make it thick because you'll have it coming through the lace. So I'm going to use my finger in a minute, or a brush if you've got one. So we just take that right to the end like that, and then we just take this edge, and I'm going to put it right on the top there, and I'm going a little bit over because I like to have a nice clean finish. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to. That's just me. All right, so we've got that all stuck down nicely, and then it's just a case of getting a pair of scissors, and while that's doing its thing, we can just trim off the edge like that. Okay, and then the very last bit over here is I've just taken a little piece of fabric. Let me try and see if, oh, here it is here. And all I've done is I've made a couple of pleats, 3 I think, and then I cut that off like that, and then I just took a bulb pin and threaded it through with some beads on it and clipped that right through. So took the little pleats, put the bulb through pin through, which wasn't so easy, and then I'm going to just stick that on the end there like that, just for a little bit of decoration. And I'm sure you can come up with a lot better ideas. I tried stamps, I was looking at all sorts of things. I even tried a butterfly, but nothing was really resonating with me, so I just thought I'd bring in a little bit of fabric and a little bit of a pin. Because what my sort of thinking here was, and then what inspired me was when I read Grandma's Attic, I thought, oh, what would she have that she'd in there? So I liked all the florals and the doilies and the lace and old letters and that kind of thing, and postcards. So that's what my thinking was here, and that's sort of where I got my inspiration for, just those little words. All right, so there we have it. It was quick and easy today. Here's the other one that I did earlier, sorry. I hope that you've enjoyed that. If you like what you see, then please, I'd love if you'd leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, that would be amazing. And if you want to get any of these doilies, you don't have to at all. Please do. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot. I had this washi tape that I was putting on the end of the little, oh, wrong one. The envelope. Where's my brains today? And this is such a pretty washi tape. I'll show you now. I'm in love with it. There we go. So that washi tape is called Lilac Floral, and I got this on Etsy. So yeah, it's really cute. I really like it. So if you want to know about that, I'll leave it in the description box. I think it was, can't remember now. All right, so anyway, thank you so much, guys. Let me move that down. I hope you can see. I hope you've enjoyed this today. It was a really quick one for me. That's quite not usually the case, is it? But today it's too hot, so although this did take me a while to come up with. Right, so I'll see you all very soon. I'm going to go work on my next video for you. Have an awesome weekend, and thank you all so much for being you, and catch you next time. Bye bye.